50th birthday to the beautiful child of the exorcist in Chinatown that is Constantine. Keanu's ready, I think. Francis Lawrence is ready. Yes, we've got the director and the star of Constantine, Francis, a veteran of the podcast. Thanks for coming back, man.
Course.
And Keanu, we've talked many times, but officially, first time on the podcast. It's so good to see you for this just and wonderful cause today. Thanks,
Uh,
man.
Thanks for letting me be a part of it.
Of
Yeah. And
course.
by the way, I do have the holy shotgun, so I could go grab it and bring it over at some point too.
We might need to
It's
enlist
in the
that.
room. It's in the room right now.
if, if there's ever an intruder, that will scare them off in a hot
Yeah,
second, I
exactly.
would imagine, right?
Yeah.
So look, I mean, a lot to talk about this movie. I mean, I think that the greatest testament to any film, any piece of art, is some amount of longevity. And here we are talking about this 20 years later. If anything, the fan base has grown. Just first, just broadly speaking, how does it feel to know that there is such a love, if anything, a growing love for what you guys created 20 years ago? Francis.
Um, it's kind of wild that I will say it's a very gratifying thing. I mean, look, it was my first movie and it was something that I think had great team spirit from everybody involved, from, me, Keanu certainly, but all the actors, the crew. And we all believed in the character, the story, the world, all of it, really loved making it. And, it got like sort of a weird reception. I think, we kind of got by in terms of box office and stuff, but a strange reception. And it was a strange movie for the time. It certainly helped jumpstart my career. And so
What
very
did people
appreciative.
not like about it? I forget.
I mean, I just think it was just, strange. I don't remember all the sort of criticisms.
I blocked it out, so I can't
But I
recall.
think yeah, I don't know. I quite honestly, I can't remember what the criticisms were, but it was not like the most praised movie of all time. I mean, they wasn't completely shit on either. But I
Yeah.
will say that just over the years, as I was working on other movies and we'd go on junkets to travel the world and all that, everybody just started showing up with Constantine DVDs, and you just felt this love for the movie, and probably more so than anything I've ever done. You just feel this kind of growing love for it. And then, years later, suddenly, you make these lists of, oh, the movies that Rotten Tomatoes got wrong. And you're like, the sort of poster child for that movie, and you go, oh, okay. Um, it's a fantastic feeling. I mean, that's kind of what it's about, right? It's not necessarily about making money and necessarily reviews or awards or anything, but it's like somehow making something that in any way becomes like a part of somebody's life and is
Totally.
meaningful somehow.
For you, Keanu, I mean, do you question, look, I know you guys had an amazing experience on this and you were very proud and excited about what you guys had done. So then when like it's received and it's got mixed reception at first, do you kind of question yourself in your mind, like, am I off? Is my gauge off? Or did you just 100% believe it just wasn't connecting? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, to the it's been cool to have people come up to me over the years and just, share their appreciation for the film, and then also asking, "So when's the next one?" And that's been nice. And I've been asked that question now for 20, no, 18, 19 years.
Well, we're going to get to that. It sounds like we're getting closer. But first, I mean, I think there's also a great irony in the fact that like you two are
Oh,
notoriously,
I'm sorry, but I knew that I mean, I
yeah,
felt like
please
the
go. Yeah.
film was cool. I was so excited to work with Francis and in the cast that eventually was assembled, and um, and just it was such a great experience to make, and so coming out of it, I felt like, in having watched the film, I was like, the idea of the hope and the ambition to what was actualized, to Francis's vision and what everyone did on the film, I was very confident in. I really felt like it was a beautiful, exceptional, entertaining film. And so when it wasn't, however it was critiqued or criticized in terms of the negative aspects of it, it was like, what are you talking about?
Well, the thing is like there's no comp for it. There's virtually no comp for it. I think
No,
that was the
it was
problem.
very unique. I think that's what I loved about it. I
Yeah.
mean, and I've done this a lot over my career, which is like I've always been attracted to these kind of like strange mashup hybrid genres. And so this was definitely one. And I think that's the thing is that, no, I don't think anybody had seen anything like it.
Right. I mean, the closest I can think of it, it's a kind of a different thing, is like I always loved the movie Dark City, which was kind of a combo of like noir sci-fi. This is noir and horror having a baby. So even that's not quite the right comp. So I can imagine from a studio. I mean, I'm frankly shocked even the studio, and I think I'm so happy they did, but they gave you, Francis, who had a hell of a resume as a music video director, but you had a nice budget for this too. You had like a
Yeah, I
good.
know. I mean, looking back, I'm sort of like, wow, I can't believe I sort of pulled that off with the studio.
I was going to say before, I also find a delicious irony in the fact that like you two guys are notoriously two of the nicest human beings on the planet, and you make this film that is all about, the occult and heaven and hell and demons. And I'm just curious, have you both always like, I don't know, had an attraction like towards The Exorcist, The Omen, films that somewhat are in this